TalesFromRetail, Episode 4. Your return is too old for my system. I work at a department store. Our store policy does not have a time limit on returns, except electronics, which are 30 days. I have a lady come up and she wants to return an unopened air fryer. She also has the receipt. I, not thinking, just scan the receipt and scan the fryer, but the fryer is coming up, UPC not found, so then I look at the receipt. It was from 2005. 14 years old, never used or taken out of the package. The security tape was still there and untouched. Me, this is from 2005, correct? C, yeah, I bought it as a gift for someone, didn't go to the party and now I need to bring it back. Me, the party was 14 years ago. Did you forget it existed? C, kinda easy too. Me, let me call my manager, because this isn't able to be scanned as the UPC has probably been deleted out of our system. Manager tells me to do a return without a receipt and do it on the new model we sell. So I do that and she gets $40-ish back for it. But how do you forget to do a return that you needed to do 14 years ago? I don't understand people sometimes. I also think we really need a time limit on how old an item can be. Not for any reason other than UPCs get deleted and repurposed. You're going to let a dog in a pet-friendly store? I have so many stories from my summer job working at a cashier at a hardware store. This one just happened today and it really pissed me off. I'm on mobile, so sorry for any typos or formatting issues. The store I work at is pet-friendly, so a lot of customers like to bring their dogs in since not a lot of places allow you to do that. A lot of the customers say it's their dog's favorite place to go and a lot of the cashiers and some other employees carry dog treats to give out, with permission, of course. I usually like to make light conversation with dog owners so I can get in some good pets and give their pup a treat or two. This time I was on the self-checkout, and a couple had some kind of Great Dane mix, I think. She was really big and had a gorgeous fur pattern. I gave her a treat and she was super good about it, calm and polite. She barely paid anyone else any attention at all. When I walked away, a different lady came up to me with a sour look on her face and asked me, "How can you allow those big dogs in here?" within clear earshot of the couple with the dog. I was stunned at first. There aren't a lot of people who don't like dogs in this store, and I was pretty sure if it was a small dog, she wouldn't have said anything. I just told her we were a pet-friendly store and any dog was welcome, and she walked away shaking her head. The people with the dog were obviously a bit concerned, so I just told her what she had said and assured them that their pupper was welcome back anytime. I can see her being upset if the dog was behaving rudely, like barking or jumping up, but she was just calmly waiting for her owners to be done checking out. I have never met someone so mad that there was a dog in a pet-friendly store. We don't discriminate against dog breeds and nobody else should either. In my experience, the bigger dogs are better behaved, anyways. Surreal TV Return posted a fun retail story a little while ago, and was talking to a friend and remembered this doozy. This story comes from the same store as last story, and I'm on the service desk. At this store, any return without a receipt requires an ID to complete, and goes on a store gift card. If you have a receipt, the receipt is fine by itself. This will come up. This story is also obviously paraphrased heavily, so bear with me if it looks a little weird at times. The only exactly verbatim quote is bolded. It was definitely weird. TLDR at bottom. An amp, #X200B. So a younger man and a middle-aged woman come into the store with a large TV, opened, but upon inspection it has everything good to go. The woman says that she has to take a call and leaves the receipt with the man, along with her Bible, and walks off to take the call. Dude seems nice, so I'm happy to process their return. The TV is eligible to be returned for cash, so I cash the guy out and he leaves. Easy, right? An amp, #X200B. A few minutes later, the woman returns and sees the TV behind our counter, leading to this exchange. An amp, #X200B. W, where did that man go? He has my Bible with him. Me, I'm not sure. He went that way, pointing, looking for you I assume. Wait, did you do the return already? I need my money and my Bible and I won't be able to find him. Me, I don't follow, isn't he your friend? You can borrow our phone to call him if you need to. I don't know who he is, I met him on the bus and he was going to provide his ID for this return. Asterisk of note, if you have your receipt, you don't need an ID to do returns. This sketched me, because it means she uses the non-receipt method a lot, since she literally wasn't aware of any other policy other than the one requiring ID. Me, but you didn't need an ID, what would you like me to do then? He left a few minutes ago, and unless you see him in store then he's gone. Well, I need my refund. Me, I already gave out your refund because I assumed you two were together, you were having a conversation. I can't issue any more money. Do I need to call the police then? Me, and with that, I'll be grabbing a manager. Do what you like, if you need someone to look at cameras then we can arrange that. Asterisk at this point, a manager comes over, I tell her the story, and point her towards the now kinda raging woman. It is also my lunch, so I tell the manager to call me if they need me, otherwise I'll be out getting food. I get no calls in the hour I'm gone, and we resume with me walking back to the return counter. That man there, officer, that's the employee who wronged me. Police, hey there, do you care to tell us your side of the story with what happened? Me, sure, asterisk repeats the story, asterisk, and then I passed it to my manager and went to lunch. So ma'am, do you wish to file a report against the man who took your money? This employee didn't do anything wrong, given everyone's story. But he screwed up, why am I being punished? To me, asterisk, asterisk, how do you plan to sleep at night, knowing how badly you've hurt me, asterisk, asterisk. Me, asterisk, internally, and externally speechless, asterisk. Manager, that's enough of that, if you want to file a report with the police, feel free, but you are done talking to my employee. It's not his fault you did things the way you did. Have a good day. An AMP, #X200B. In the end, the Bible was recovered in the back of someone's truck, and the woman declined to file a police report. Gossip was that she was already sorta in trouble with the police for something unrelated and didn't want the attention if she hadn't been noticed yet. An AMP, #X200B. And for the record, I slept like a baby that night. An AMP, #X200B. TLDR, a woman returned a TV with a complete stranger and trusted the stranger to not just leave with her money while she was away doing something else. Then comes back and tries to get the police after me instead of him. Vendor coupon causes cash register to malfunction. Hi everyone, I just recently discovered this subreddit only a few days ago, and this is my first post here, so I apologize for any mistakes in formatting. I've been a cashier for a little over a year now, so although I have many stories to share here, this story by far is one of my favorites because of how insane it was. I no longer work at this grocery store because I moved to be closer to my college and got a job at a different grocery store, but when I was employed for the company I was a front-end supervisor and also worked customer service, accounting, so I wasn't on any of the main registers 90% of the time. Whenever it got super busy, one of us at customer service, there was almost always two workers at the customer service desk, would go out and check on one of the registers. This was fairly close to Thanksgiving, so of course the store was pretty busy. I was out helping bag groceries and scan alcohol for the cashiers who were still in high school when I hear one of my coworkers call for me in a panicked voice. Something happened to the register, I need help, so I finished bagging the bag I was working on and walked over to the register to see what was up. My coworker, let's call her Sue, has worked for the company for years and almost never asks for help because she almost always has everything under control. She was always a sweetheart to me when I worked there. The customer was only buying a frozen turkey and also had a vendor coupon for 55 cents off, but apparently when Sue scanned the vendor coupon, the register had a malfunction and showed that the coupon was taking off $5,987.55 or something among that amount. The customer's total was ringing up as $5,980. I don't think I ever laughed as hard as I did when I saw the total, and the customer was in a fit of laughter as well. I ended up just voiding the whole transaction and ringing up the customer again, but this time manually entering in the vendor coupon instead of scanning it. Even after reporting the whole thing to my manager, we never really found out how the coupon took off that much money. We tried scanning the coupon again on a different register later on that day, but it only came up as an invalid coupon. Not a very exciting story, but I still laugh every time I think about it. Sir, these are Camel Blues, I promise. I'm on mobile and I'm tired, so I apologize if this reads like a mess. So this happened during my shift tonight. I dunno how many of you smoke, but working in retail since I turned 16 I am decently versed in cigarettes and cigars, at least the ones we sell at my store, and I have watched and complained many a time when the packaging for cigarettes change kinda drastically. Most recently at work our Camel Blue box has changed a bit and they're doing a promotion, so the plastic wrap is also different. Camel Blues, or Camel Lights, are really common and I can grab them without looking. An older gentleman comes in and asks for a pack and I didn't even hear him correctly the first time and asked him again what he wanted. But once I confirmed he wanted Camel Lights I grabbed the pack and finished the transaction. After the transaction is completed he takes another look at the pack. No, I wanted Camel Blues. These are Turkish, and while yes there is a Turkish Camel Blue pack, they are more commonly known as Royals and are not what I grabbed. Me, I'm sorry sir. These are Camel Lights, I assure you. Him, no, they're Turkish. They're not what I want. Me, sir, these are the cigarettes you asked for, the packaging has changed a bit is all. Him, no, I want Camel Blues. It was at this point I grabbed a new unopened carton of Camel Lights and showed it to him. Carton design has not changed, and had him confirm that it was the correct cigarettes he wanted. I open it and show him a pack which was the same as I previously handed him. Me, see, sir. I can promise that these are Camel Blues. Him, despite watching me open the carton, no, those aren't Camel Blues. At this point I feel bad for my coworker who had to hop on and is dealing with a rush as I'm talking with this guy. Me, sir, Camel Blues are, and as far as I know, have always been a Turkish blend. All Camel cigarettes are. These are Camel Blues, the packaging has just changed. I take down a pack of Camel filters and a pack of Camel straights. See, Camel filters have a similar package and it explains on the back of the straights that Camel uses Turkish blend tobacco. Luckily at the other register now was a friend of mine who smokes Camel Lights and can confirm what I am saying. It is then that he finally says, okay, and leaves with his cigarettes. The next customers also asked about cigarettes, but they were much more understanding. Financially unstable woman, emotionally unstable towards how financially unstable she is. I currently work for a well-known and hated communications company in Canada. We provide many residential and wireless services across the country. In the stores the employees are only salespeople. We have nothing to do with any kind of billing or technical support. Tune into my second month working here. I get a middle-aged woman who at first was a wonderful gal. She comes in to pay her phone bill, nothing usual. I tell her the current balance on the account, which I shall keep private, as owing $1,023.56, can be quite embarrassing. Woman, excuse me. Me, that's the amount posted on your bill. Woman, and why would you make it that much? Me, what? Woman, why would you make my bill over $1,000? Me, woman, explain yourself. I look further into her account and see that no payments have been made within the last 3 months, at which point her services were suspended. Me, ma'am, there hasn't been a payment made in 3 months. She begins to go on a rant and yell about how she's got money or whatever. In those situations I just go on Instagram or something until they're done. She finally leaves without paying her bill and I just shrug it off. I understand people may have financial difficulties, but there's no need to yell at salespeople for it. The choice to pay the prices are yours. TL Drive, woman owed over a $1,000 on her bill and blamed me for her not being able to pay it. Customer tries to steal from charity shop, then pretends he thought his wife paid. Not really a crazy story, it was just really weird. I used to volunteer as a shop assistant in a charity shop. We sold clothes, books, toys, homeware, DVDs, towels, accessories, bit of everything ranging from brand new to second hand. Everything we got in we cleaned and washed. One day, this guy and his wife comes into the shop. The wife is pottering around and the husband asks for my help. He says he can't read and needs my help selecting a DVD, and he said he'd give a donation for my help. So me being a helpful little assistant, spent ages reading DVD summaries, and then he decided there wasn't anything there he liked the sound of, so I went around being a personal shopper, and in the end he and his wife just bought, brand new still in the packaging, bed linen and we never got a donation. I was annoyed and tired, but went on putting stock away. An hour later the same man comes back in and goes over to the section where we kept the hats. He picks up a baseball cap and slaps it on his head and he says, "Hey, I had a cap when I came in, I put it down and you must have sold it, so I'll borrow this one until you get it back." I stood in a shocked, "What the fuck" moment for a second as he tried to run out the door. I called him back, "Sorry sir, but you didn't have a hat on when you came in. You'll have to pay for that one," and he just laughs, "Oh, I did have one on. Bye, sir. I'm pretty sure you didn't have a hat, but if you come up to the computer with me we can check the security feed just to make sure." He suddenly went pale, and he looked around the room until he noticed the big white camera in the corner with the big sign saying, "CCTV." Suddenly he changed his tune and all of a sudden remembered that he didn't have a cap on. "Oh right, yeah, I had no hat on, but here, take this back." He threw the hat at me and legged it out of the shop. Then an hour later he came back in and I was keeping an eye on him and saw him pick something up and place it near the door. I was at the other end of the room and due to furniture being in the way I didn't see what he picked up, but he didn't leave, he was looking around again. Then while he came down to my end of the shop, I went up near the door, sweeping around, and I saw a brand new Thomas the Tank Engine duvet set beside the door. Not where the bed stuff belongs. My coworker called me and I turned to face her, and then saw the man quickly leave. I turned back around and saw the sheets were gone. I asked my coworker if he had paid for the duvet set. She shook her head, her eyes widened and she legged it outside after the man. I looked out the window and saw my coworker talking with the man, then saw the two of them coming back in, duvet set in my coworker's hands. He came in and, whipping out his wallet, looking flustered and stuttering. I thought me wife had bought them. Yeah, sorry about that. He never came back again. Weirdest day ever. Woman berates me for not using her coupons immediately. TLDR at bottom of post. I used to work as a cashier at a retail chain. The location I worked at was a popular tourist area, so I saw a lot of busy days during the summertime. Sundays were especially busy as it was easy for people to stop by on their way in or out of the area. Last summer, we started to push our credit card system and corporate was forcing employees to take it seriously, much to our chagrin. One of the ways it was being pushed was customers would get an extra amount of money added to their card if they signed up and got approved that day. Here's where our story begins. Rude woman will be RW, scared husband shish, nice man NM, and I will be me of course. It was a busy Sunday, and the lines at our registers, we had around 10 open, were backed up to halfway through the store because our registers were very slow and had problems when it got very busy. I was working on register 1, which is the busiest register in the store since it is the first one customers see, so I was already not having that great of a day. Enter rude woman. RW strolls up to my register with shish and starts unloading her card, and while I start ringing her items up, I notice her very defensively holding coupons up to her chest and I immediately recognize this woman is not going to be pleasant. With the way she was holding them, I just assumed she would try to hand them to me after I finished ringing up her items. She had also told me she signed up for the credit card and got the extra amount she wanted to use. Me, alright ma'am, your total is going to be $115.76. If I may, I need to go ahead and apply the points balance from your credit card to the purchase. Will you be using those coupons today? RW, very angrily, yes, I will be using them. I have had them in my hands this whole time for that reason. God, I know we're in my state, but come on. My customer service smile immediately broke. I've dealt with rude customers before, but one who had directly insulted me and implying that I am even dumber than my state. I'd like to say I had a witty comeback or did something to make her squirm, but I didn't. My lips just started quivering and I had to keep myself from crying because I didn't want her to have that satisfaction. Shish tried to meekly tell her that was rude, but she wasn't listening to him. It was a short exchange, but it very much ruined my day. As she was leaving, Shish quickly muttered out an "I'm sorry" to me as he slunk away to her. I feel bad for the guy. After they left, NM came up to the counter and gave me a hug telling me it was fine if I wanted to go ahead and cry, no one would judge me. I ended up hard crying way more than I meant to, but I guess it was pent up. Everyone in line after her said they would have said something had it not been busy, which I appreciate, no one making a scene because we were too busy for that right now. In hindsight, I wish I had told one of my managers while it was happening. They had a no-tolerance rule for customers bullying us, but I was too clouded at that moment to think about it. TLDR, woman calls me stupider than my state for trying to politely ask if she was using her coupons during a purchase and a nice man hugged me after it happened. Wood chips, leaves, and an outlet with no power. Her name will be Karen. My other co-worker will be named Ted. I'm mobile, so apologies for any mistakes. All names are clearly changed. This happened yesterday and even though it doesn't seem that much of a big deal, scared me. I'm 15 and yesterday at my grocery store was the first time being the mini manager of the other cashiers. It was 3 other girls, 2 in my grade, another in the grade below us. Karen came in around 9 a.m. to rent out a carpet cleaner we have. She brought another type of thing to use with the carpet cleaner. Renting out our carpet cleaners, we have another book sheet where it gets rented out. You can rent it out for 2, 4, or 24 hours. There's also a $10 deposit, and once you return the machine, if it's clean, you get $10 back. My boss, Sid, rents her the carpet cleaner. He explains how he will rent it out for her since I still do not know. Karen tips back the machine and she goes, "There's wood chips and leaves in here." Sid goes to check and, yeah, there were wood chips and leaves. "Oh, I can clean it out for you, ma'am." "Yes, please. It's dirty." Sid goes to clean it out for her and she stays at the counter. Sid comes back roughly 10 minutes later with the machine. He tells me what the ring up since he finished the paperwork. I ring up what he says, like $49 something. Karen leaves, renting out the carpet cleaner for 4 hours. Before this, my bosses, Sid and Fred, leave around 12 p.m. saying they will be right back. 4 hours later, Karen returns. I can tell from the look of her face she looks mad. We were busy, seeing as it's 1 p.m. nearly 2 p.m. I closed down my line to deal with Karen. M. Hi ma'am. K. I am upset. Slight pause. M. What seems to be the issue? K. Well, this stupid cleaner still has wood chips and leaves in it. It made a mess all over my carpet. M. I'm so sorry to hear that, ma'am. I'm no K. And then, when I plugged in the cleaner to my outlet, it sparked and that outlet no longer has power. M. Ma'am, I am so sorry to hear that, but I'm not sure what to do. K. I want a refund. I try to think for a bit. I don't know if I should give her a refund. If I should wait till Sid or Fred return. I'm thinking, sometimes we can give refunds, other times we can't. I have one of the girls in my grade try and see if we can contact our 4 bosses. Ted, Op, I think you should give her a refund. She wasn't happy with the service. M. I. K. Yes, he's right. Give me a refund. T. Op, trust me. M. Ma'am, I can try and contact my bosses and I'm not sure how low. K. Well then I'm leaving. I am very busy. She leaves the store and a wave of panic sets in. I start freaking out, but I'm trying to slow my breathing. I go into the office where I text one of bosses, Jenny, about what just happened. 20 minutes later she responds that yeah, I should give her refund and that it was okay about not knowing what to do as I'm still learning about being mini manager. I grab the office phone and call Karen. She doesn't answer, so I leave a message. Hey Karen, this op, the girl on cashier 5 at the grocery store. I want to apologize for not knowing what to do. My bosses reached back to me and yes, we can give you a refund. Just call back to this number and my bosses can arrange something. Once again, I am so sorry. Around 3 p.m., my bosses Sid, Fred, and Jenny return and I explain the whole story to Sid and Jenny. The co-worker who I had to try and contact my bosses tried calming me down because I couldn't. TLDR, Karen buys a carpet cleaner, returns 4 hours later claiming it has wood chips, leaves, and messed up her outlet. Being new to a mini manger, I freaked out over not knowing what to do. Karen leaves, I tell my boss, I leave Karen a message apologizing and say we can give her a refund. Shorted $1. I make and sell tiny things for $5 at markets. So a lady comes up and asks if I will accept a discount for several and without being rude or anything I say, no, I can't do that. She puts all but one aside and comes up to pay me. She ruffled around in her wallet for what seemed eons, but this did allow me to see she had several 20s in there, but mainly she seemed to be fiddling with the dollars. She then thrust the dollars at me and went hot-foot out of my booth. I counted 1, 2, what is this folded bill? And 4. She had carefully, in her mind, folded one of the bills to make $4 appear as 5. So in my loudest voice I shouted, hey miss, you gave me $4, I can make change for a 20 if you want. She turned around and oh, that expression of being caught was just the best. Up until that moment I hadn't been certain it was on purpose. She gave me the 20, I counted out the change with a big smile, made sure I returned the dollar bills with the folded one on top. I've had people try to take stuff, have tantrums, sniff unbelievingly at the nerve of an artist wanting money in the 10 years I have sold, but never anything this petty. It was a slow sales day, so it did liven things up I guess, and I probably would not have caught this if I had been busy. Double charged. I work at a gas station and there was a guy that came in yesterday to buy some stuff totaled to about $4. He used his GF's card. It was declined, so we tried again and it went through. His GF called last night to say she was charged twice. I left a note for my boss cause he's only there in the mornings. He wasn't able to get back to her before he left. He told me he'd call tomorrow and get it fixed. She called again and I explained. Then the guy came in today and grabbed the same items and very rudely said that he wanted to just leave with them since I had double charged them. I tried explaining that it was declined the first time, which I showed him when he was paying, and that I don't know why it would be charged twice. I explained that my boss would call tomorrow and I couldn't let him just leave with the items because I hadn't been given that permission from my boss. He got extremely aggressive and threw the products and left, and as he walked out I threatened to call the police in hopes he wouldn't come back. I thought he might hurt me for a moment. One of our regulars was there and saw the whole thing and went after him to give him an earful while I immediately started having a panic attack. It took me a while to calm down. I'm the only one there, which is terrifying, but it also means I can't just go in the back and let my panic attack happen because there's no one to take over the register. I just can't imagine getting so aggressive over $4 when we said the problem would be reverted the next day. A customer gets frosty over ice lollies. TLDR at bottom. I work in a medium-sized UK-based supermarket with a petrol station for work background. We get as many customers coming in for weekly shops as we would for petrol, etc. I'm a team leader, and when a till operator needs to do a refund for a customer, they have to get me to authorize it with my code. Anyway, this happened the other day and I thought it would be worth a share here to highlight how idiotic customers are. I was in the office cashing up a till in the office and the door knocks. One of my staff say that the till operator needs a refund put through. I ask what for, and they tell me that she said her ice lollies are too icy. At this point I'm thinking, what in God's name? I get to the till and ask if everything is okay. No, these are too icy. I want a refund and want to get these ones instead. I checked the box, etc. They were in date and she hadn't even opened any of the ice lollies. I had to bite my tongue while doing the refund, to save me an argument, all the while looking at her with disbelief. The things you have to do and endure for an easy shift. TLDR, woman complained that her ice lollies were too icy and wanted a refund, to buy different ice lollies.